everybody. I'm Arthie Moore, your host today on IBGR Radio, based in Virginia, USA. And what's exciting is that I'm coming to you live from South Africa. Today, you are going to be listening into one of my favorite topics. But before we do this, if this is the first time that you're listening in, welcome. If you are a returning listener or a fan, welcome back. A privilege to have you here. I am your host on season 4, episode 7. And my theme is about the visionary entrepreneur. So you're listening to me coming all the way from South Africa, Arthie Moore, creator of the Compassionate Leader of Influence. I am the co-founder of Key Leadership Institute alongside my amazing partner, Moore-Robberts, and I'm also the founder of Celebrating Humanity International. Now, one of the things that's really exciting for me is that I'm bringing to you my experiences from over 23 years of being an entrepreneur, from working on a global scale and understanding where people are coming from. And it's a privilege to be on IBGR network because I realize as a radio station, IBGR is the International Business Growth Radio Station. Now, what's incredible about that is that they have created a platform for you as an entrepreneur, whether you are a business owner or you're thinking about going into business. This is the platform to be on where every business owner you can get anything that you need to know on how to grow your business, start a business, grow your business, or exit your business. So whichever level you're at in terms of your business environment or even your vision, there is something here for every single person. Now, before I go on, I just want to say we're in over 152 countries. We are listened to 24/7. And I love it. I love it because the on air talent that are on here and our show hosts come from around the world with a world of experience. Every single one of them are entrepreneurs in their own right. And I should take my hat off to them and say thank you. It is with gratitude that I am on this platform alongside people who are willing to share their experiences and to guide and support all of us. So it's not just you, the listener. It is all of us as entrepreneurs. We listen to the different shows. And when we go onto the platform that was created, the website, www.ibgr.network gives you access to show notes, podcasts, community, a chamber of commerce. It allows you to actually connect with people who are like-minded, people who are growing their businesses or exiting the business, who are sharing their information with you. And all of that you have got access to. So I'm excited because when you go into an environment like this, we realize that the sharing of knowledge is one of the greatest gifts we could give to anybody in this world. And so when we look at the topic that I've created a topic that is resonating with my value system, with my belief systems, with where I want to change this world, where I want to be the change I want to see in the world. So instead of just talking about it, I believe that I need to live it in order to embody it, in order to talk about it, in order to share that with you. And so when I look at the journey of a lot of people, I realize that most people are seeking. They're seeking knowledge, they're seeking guidance, and they want to know what next. So I thought, why not step up and use something that is really, really dear to me? It is powerful, it is intriguing, it is something that is really, really important. And that is that, ladies and gentlemen, unite. And the whole point of that is that I believe that when we collaborate for each other's success, when we connect and we help and we have the intention to help another human being grow, then we are looking at it from the human experience point of view. Now, I always talk about the human experience, but here's the thing. It cannot be dumbed down to whether you're a man or a woman. The thing is that we are talking about the human experience at a very deep level. It bypasses your color, your age, your gender, your traditions, your cultures. And I'm not saying take away what makes you uniquely you. I'm saying understand that at the human experience, all people will experience life differently. And yet some of the challenges are the same. The way we react or respond allows us to engage meaningfully with people. And so when we look at the visionary entrepreneur, is somebody who understands how to use compassion in the way that they engage with people differently. So when I looked at creating the show for today, what can I do, what can I add value, what can I say, and how can I guide you differently? And so when I looked at some of the areas that we need to delve into, I'd like to suggest that when I'm talking into ladies and gentlemen uniting and collaborating for each other's success, what I mean by that is I want to create a global platform where both men and women are intentional in contributing to each other's success by sharing knowledge, by sharing their wisdom, by sharing the experience and the expertise. Now, that's not difficult to do. You see, that takes a mindset change and becoming intentional that we want to help another human being grow. However, there are a lot of people who are still limited by the belief systems, by the past histories, and by the programming that was created by a certain group of, okay, well, one gender, right? And that was always going to be the gender that loves domination, control, how to take over. It's that all of that excitement on warfaring and things like that. But then you see that as much as there is a strength, the intention behind it is where the weakness lies. Because there can be a very destructive power if it is not balanced. And so when you look at what am I talking about? I'm talking about collaborative thinking, supporting and encouraging both genders. That is the balance needed to realign the gender gap issues in business. So when I'm talking about ladies and gentlemen unite, I want to know how can we realign the gender gap? How can we balance all of these injustices and the things that actually cause issues to us succeeding in our environment? So one of the things that I looked at that I'd love to talk into is a saying by Marilyn Monroe that I stumbled across and I thought it was just hilarious and yet at the same time rang true. Because firstly, my brain just did a recalculate. Like, what did she mean by that? And then I stopped long enough and I thought, ooh, this demands some thinking, contemplation. And I contemplated for only a few seconds. But it rings true. And her saying by Marilyn Monroe, she says, women who seek to be equal to men lack ambition. Now, I love that because that just messes with your brain. Now, it's not that you lack ambition as a human being. I'm just saying that you prevent yourself from growing. And this is my interpretation. You prevent yourself from growing, from achieving, from doing, from being, and having what you truly deserve because you've limited your belief all the way through to it's because I'm a man or it's because I'm a woman. It is because of what's happened to me, and that is the glass ceiling effect. And so when we think about it, we need to challenge our mindsets. So the burning question right now is how do we align the injustices of the world when it comes to diversity and inclusion, when it comes to all lives matter, when it comes to gender equality, when it comes to people with disabilities and gender-based violence. These are realities. And when I'm talking about as entrepreneurs, we have a responsibility to take on this world and realign how we intentionally provide a product, a service, how we can provide our knowledge and share our expertise, but having the foundation of realizing that we're not just here to make money. The impact and the significance we seek is directly related to our ability to touch the lives and change people's lives for the better. So when you look at the intentionality behind what you have got to offer, what are you doing? What are you growing your business for? Who are you growing within your business? Is it limited to only the gender you prefer? Or are you inclusive of both genders? Are you limited by your own belief systems? Because that is something I'm going to talk into later. But it makes sense to actually look at some of the other areas I was thinking about because I've been pondering this for many years. And I worked out many ways that we as individuals and business owners can step up and add our actions as well as our voices to this important discussion. I mean, I think firstly, courageous conversations need to happen, but it cannot happen unless there's proper groundwork, clear outcomes, and an intentional focus that is put into place beforehand. So we cannot just say, yes, we need to realign all of these injustices. Okay, but how are we going to do it? What are the foundations we're putting into place that allows us to make sure it sustains the change we're looking for? So when we're exploring your gifts and your talents as a person, not a gender, what do you bring to this world? What do you have to offer? And so when you start to look at it from that point of view, you're no longer limited by I'm a man or a woman. You're suddenly realizing that as a human being, I have a lot to offer in this world. So I feel that entrepreneurs are in a unique position right now. Unique position in that they're in a situation that allows them to delve into any area that they wish to go into. They are not limited to a sphere of influence. They're unlimited in their potential. You see, because and I say this because entrepreneurs intentionally seek empowerment, enlightenment, and growth. And when you think about it, limiting beliefs don't have a place in any of this. And if you can find the talent, if you can find talent in either a man or a woman, then choose who is the right person to work for you. Don't be limited by the fact that the person is of a gender that you were taught to actually disallow, disengage from, and disempower. And on that note, I feel that we should take a quick 2 to 3 minute short break. But when we return, we'll be talking about how can we approach this differently? What can we do differently to make sure that we add value? But in the meantime, I'd love to entice you to join us on our social media platforms on www.ibgr.network, as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Follow us, and we'd love to hear from you.